Hey everybody, so I didn't even have an actual plan to make a video like this because I don't really enjoy making things like this because people kind of make them very negative and I don't really like that, especially with like, let's say like Dragon Ball Legends. Like people are like, oh, a game's making 8 million this month, that's such a failure. Like first off, in my opinion, if a game's making, mobile games specifically, if they're making $8 million a month, I don't see that as a failure. It might be business failure, but like to me, that's still pretty good in the mobile market. But we kind of have something alarming to really talk about today, and that's Marvel Mystic Mayhem's revenue as of right now. So when the game first launched, as always, this is going to be considered its peak because again, everyone is interested, we want to see what the game's about, and of course the game is going to have this drop off period, right, which I think we're kind of now in, but we're just going to measure it out basically. So when the game first started, the revenue, 1 million downloads, was 700,000. It's good for a mobile game, right? That is in the late half of June, so it was like what, maybe June 25th the game launched. That's pretty good, right? Then we bleed over into July, the best month so far, $2 million of revenue, downloads 800,000, so even increased by 100,000. But now we reach into this last month, being August. And holy smokes, what happened? The drop off is insane. Revenue was cut basically in half. Downloads, wow, like wow. Wow. What happened? Wow. Okay. I'm lost for words. So I'm kind of wondering like what happened generally, because again, the peak was in, of course, July, and maybe it was because the Fantastic Four was coming out alongside with the movie. Things helped boost up the game up, as well as it being the first month of the game. People were still trying to find their feet and like, okay, they're still able to dump some money and things like that. But I guess maybe within the greater lifespan of the up and coming months, or like, I don't really need to buy anything, I can just stay free to play, even though it's not that catered to free to play. Like, I could still get things done, but holy, the drop off is crazy. That's wild. Like, again, 50% momentum versus last month. The peak was last month, and again, I know every game has this drop off period or its dry period where not many people are going to pay/play, so that's always going to be a thing because again, life, that's just how it happens. But with it happening this soon is kind of worrisome in my opinion. If you switch over to the like right now, downloads 160,000. Now I don't know if that's 160,000 for that month or just like it just plummeted, you know what I mean, but I think it's for this month. So in July, I think they saw an extra 800,000. I think, I could be wrong, but I think it's an extra 800,000, right? Which is good. But again, August is like, boop, like it just plummeted. Like, of course, it is going to drop, right? That's just how it happens. It happens with all kinds of media. But a drop this low this is more than 50%. Well, if we're going off last month, this is more than 50% drop. Like, this is a lot. Like, wow, this is almost what, 75%. What happened, dude? Jeez. Now I don't know whether this, of course, website is accurate. It could be, I'm not sure, but from what I'm looking at and what I've seen in Discord, I do think it's fairly accurate, but it's also kind of worrisome to me. Let's see the advanced look actually. Now I'm kind of, wow, okay, so iOS, 60,000 downloads, compared to last month at 300,000. Okay, like, wow, dude, what is this? This is crazy. I'm shocked. Now, I guess this kind of begs a question, which, again, I hate to even say this. Is the game in trouble? I'm not sure, because, again, this has happened to a lot of things, right? They could definitely have a bigger spike from the next couple months from now. Who knows? You know what I mean? Depending on who they release or the things that they add in game, they could have a bigger spike. But with it already being basically 2 months and the drop is this significant, it kind of does worry me if this game is going to make it past a year. I wanted to. Y'all know I glazed this game from the top to the bottom. But holy, the numbers are showing right now. And again, I don't know if this is accurate or even like real. It could just be made up numbers. I think it's real though. But if what I'm looking at is actually true, then I don't know if this game is gonna last that long. And I don't like saying that, because it just makes me annoyed talking about like games just shutting down, even though it happens all the time. It annoys me because like people put a lot of work into this kind of thing, and they dedicate their lives to this, right? And people just say, oh yeah, this game is yada yada, and it bothers me, right? And I hate to say that, but like the numbers are very telling. Now granted, like again, this website could be wrong. NetEase has the actual numbers of, you know, the player base and the revenue. Only they can really make that final say, or I guess give that final say. But again, if this is accurate, then I do think there are some conversations that need to be had. For starters, like I guess the monetization of things. Of course, this game is a business, right? So you're gonna need to make money. I think though that it's the value of certain things is the way why people aren't spending. There are some things that are generally worth the bang of your buck, right? Like there's some packs that you get like what I think 5 keys for either $3 or $6. To me, that's okay. But when you go to like $20 just for a highlight, or just for like a dupe of a character, then it's kind of like iffy. Don't get me wrong, like that's a decent price in retrospect to other games, but like when you look at the value to certain things, it's like, nah, I don't know, because I forget what pack it was. This was I think a month and a half ago, but there was a pack I saw, and I think it had like a highlight and something else in there, and it cost way more than something that didn't really need to. Like the pricing just didn't make any sense. I think they've gotten better at it now, the pricing adjustments, but I don't know. Like it's really scary to look at. Like down this like 80. What is this? What am I looking at? For downloads, they're down 80%. Why? Why? Like that's insanity. Again, the downloads always are gonna like decrease, right, from each passing month. But like that's a huge drop. That's a significant drop. Don't get me wrong, they have fixed some things within the game, like the artifacts and things like that. Don't get me wrong, I still haven't got a lot of legendaries, but that's a whole other conversation for another day. But like I hope like they can like change some things that'll save the game, because again, this is scary. These are scary numbers to look at right now. 160,000 current downloads. I'm scared to what September is going to look like. They have to knock this month out of the park if they want to bring that number back up again, because what happened? Genuinely, what happened? Like, we can only guess. Maybe, I don't know, August. Was it the characters or headliners? I don't know. People love Gambit and Loki. That's what I know. So maybe it's not that. Again, it just could be the monetization features, or the, I guess, access to, I guess, certain things in game, like game modes and stuff like that. Like they really have people engaged, maybe I don't know. But that doesn't really, this chart doesn't really like gauge off playtime. It just goes off download. So I don't know about the whole like modes and everything. But yeah, maybe it's just like the interest level of the game. Like it kind of seems, well, at the time it seemed stale. Now it's kind of better, because like I will say the Mojo mode is honestly one of the great additions. Like that's really fun. What I think, maybe the Alliance, maybe too, that could have been a thing. I don't know. The whole interest is just very weird now. It's very weird, and it's unfortunate to even have to have this conversation. I did not want to have it, because first off, I didn't even see this coming. I only saw this because I saw it in Discord. People were talking about it. I was like, oh no, wait, let me actually go look for myself. And apparently it is true. So there's that. But I'm trying to like ration in my mind like what went wrong with July to August, right? I generally can't really. I guess August was kind of not really a dead month. I will say July is technically like their peak-ish, because Marvel Mystic Mayhem released at basically the end of June, and I guess this bled into July. Let's just say this is July 25th. This makes sense because this is month 1 of the game technically. This is month 2. Again, gonna make sense. It's gonna go down in terms of like money, but half is kind of worrisome. It just doesn't make much sense to me, you know what I mean? It's like, what went wrong? So I'm looking at it like, okay, so if month 1 was everyone coming into the game, figuring out how this is going to work, I can see why they dumped so much money into this, right? But I guess month 2, everyone like knows like what they're getting into now. They're like, I don't really need to spend. And I can kind of vouch for them with that too, because when I think with August, the only time I genuinely spent was costumes. I bought Captain America's outfit, I bought Emma Frost's, and I think that was it. Other than that, I didn't buy any like dream gems in August anyway. Actually, wait. Yeah, no, in August, yeah. In July, I know I bought the battle pass in the Fantastic Four event, but that was about it. I bought some dream gems, but yeah, that was about it. I don't buy them anymore because I don't really feel the need to, right? I can just get them free. Granted, you don't get a crap ton, but like you still get some. But yeah, I don't really feel the need to spend anymore. It's something I really want to spend either. I don't know, man. I don't know. Things like this just, it grinds my gears talking about this, because y'all know I love this game. I truly do, and I love making content on it. But you could kind of see where things are falling off, unfortunately. Like even the interest levels on YouTube, like you can see, like not even with just me, but with other people making content on this too, like the interest level has gone down instead of going up. So like it's very weird as to what's happening. I don't know why it's happening. Again, I'm not a business guy. I'm just observing as a player and a like, YouTuber's perspective. But again, this is quite telling, I will say. But I think that's gonna do it for this video. Again, I just want to show you guys what the numbers are, and like, I guess if the game is in trouble or not. Again, I don't want to say the game's not gonna make it to year 1, because again, who knows, right? Who knows? Some games are able to make it out of the gutter. Who knows, right? But from right now, what I'm looking at is not looking too great, but there is hope. Just gotta have faith. Hey, who knows? They could pull a Hail Mary and it'll be peak. Who knows, right? Maybe by Christmas time they'll unleash like a really good event or events and good characters that'll like get people's interest back up for the game, and I guess they'll maybe fix the monetization aspects. I don't know, but in due time. So let me know what you guys think of these numbers, and if you guys think that this game is in some serious trouble. Again, to me, I'm not sure. I don't want to give my full thoughts about that yet, but again, it's not looking too great. With that being said, my name is LC. Have an amazing day. God bless, and I'll catch you all in the next Marvel Mystic Mayhem video.